Hello and welcome. Today we are in the tier 10 French destroyer, the Marceau. We're playing a ranked battle on the map North. And as you can see, it's a triple destroyer, triple cruiser and double battleship game. No CVs. And I am in the Marceau, and if you noticed, I actually used speed boost right at the start of the game because it helps with acceleration. And I think one of the greatest strengths of the Marceau is that she is so incredibly fast that you can end up surprising the enemy in a bunch of ways. For example, on this map, there are two ways you can take advantage of the speed at the start of the game. One is you head into the B cap as quickly as you possibly can, which is what I'm doing here. The other one is to go to the C cap as quickly as you can and try to get behind the island. However, in this game I decided not to go for that, partly because of my positioning and partly because, well, they have a Stalingrad and a Moscow, double radar at least, and they also have a Marceau. So if the enemy Marceau thinks the same way and heads into the C cap exactly the same way, it'll be quite awkward when we end up meeting there. We'll probably end up trading, or one of us wins, but we'll win with very little amount of HP left, so that we're kind of sidelined for the rest of the game. So the better choice here was to go for the B cap instead, in my opinion. Also, they have a Smolensk, so maybe she swings around the island, which makes the situation even worse at the C cap. So I really decided not to go for it. Instead, I'm going over here. We took the cap zone. Sadly, the enemy's second destroyer probably got into the A cap slightly earlier than ours, so they got it a little bit faster. And now I'm simply gonna just sit here, because usually ships like to sit somewhere around the island there, next to the A cap. And if I can spot them here, maybe some of my allied ships can take a few shots and perhaps dissuade them from that kind of positioning. Because usually when a ship goes there, they don't go and sit there perfectly. And because of that, they can end up taking a lot of damage, which can give your team an advantage. Wait, I've spotted. Ooh, the enemy Marceau actually came around the island. Okay, this is awkward. Fine, but this is actually fine for me, because I have my Shimakazu with me, so I have an extra set of guns, and there's a Petropavlovsk behind me. Whereas, if you look at the minimap, right? Look at where I am, and look at where the Shikishima and Stalingrad are. That Marceau does not get any support from the Stalingrad and the Shikishima. Or, apparently, even the Smolensk and the A cap. And because of that, this kind of a fight is completely okay, and the enemy Marceau had to disengage. Which also meant that we won this kind of a trade pretty massively. Now we simply have to dodge for a little bit, but, you know, this isn't gonna be too hard, we're just wiggling a little bit. Now, part of me wants to engage the Holland right here, but the other part thinks that no, it's better if I just disengage, force the enemy ships such as the Burgon and the Stalingrad to reacquire a different target, and then we can go fight again. Okay, it seems Shimakazu is actually gonna play the screening ship for me. That's actually a pretty cool idea. If we could somehow take advantage of this, that would be golden. I also launched torps in that general direction. You never know if you guys might just get lucky. It's not like I need them anytime soon anyway. Although I don't like how close that Shima is going, because that Holland is gonna spot her. She should already be turning away. Thought she might like drop torps or something, but this is actually a pretty bad idea by that Shima. Okay, let's try to help out by shelling the Holland. Right now I can be shot at by the Smolensk. That will require her to turn her guns and all of that, but it'll take a little bit of time. However, I can't just stay here for long. Wow, I've done a lot of damage to that Holland. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, maybe that Shima going there, as she was okay after all. I mean, that Holland took a huge amount of damage. But now the Smolensk has acquired on me, and so has the Burgon. But we'll go undetected in a little bit, at which point they will again have to find a new target. Oh, Shima is too close to the Stalingrad, so the Stalingrad's radar actually caught her. That's actually a huge misplay by the Shima. I really don't understand why she actually went in there that hard. I mean, she knew there was a Holland there, she knew there was a Marceau there, she knew there was a Stalingrad there. None of this that's happening right now should be unexpected to her. So the fact that she can't like wiggle herself out of it is kind of weird. You really would think that when a ship does something risky like that, they at least have a plan of success or a plan to get out of it. But this Shima seemed to have none of them. Maybe she just overestimated or underestimated just how quick a Stalingrad is. But this does mean Stalingrad does not have a radar, and she's coming closer, which means that maybe we'll get some lucky torpedoes because she'll probably stop somewhere next to that island there. And if we can get some lucky torps on her as she comes closer, that would be pretty good. Anyway, I'm gonna open wider and wider because maybe I'll run into the enemy Marceau because she's a fast ship, and looking at the minimap she would be somewhere over around here. And if both of the enemy DDs have left, we can simply shell the Stalingrad from a different angle, which will help my Conqueror, because if the Stalingrad starts focusing me, you know, she has to spend time on turning the turrets and all of that kind of stuff. And then I can go unspotted. Oh, there's the Marceau. I wanted to say, then I can go unspotted and etc., right? But hello Marceau, you have 6,000 HP, I have 18,000 HP, not 80,000. And I think that's goodbye, Marceau. Thank you for playing. Holland, I don't think that's gonna work from 10 kilometers, I'm sorry. That's a bit too ambitious. I don't think even I would try that. And we have another speed boost, so this is easy. Now, since we got unspotted, I'm gonna turn around and go closer again. Because I wanna run into that Holland if I can, head on. But I do think our Holland is probably gonna go and try to torpedo the Conqueror. It's a question though whether the Holland's coming straight for me or will go to the east, because that's entirely a possibility. I'm gonna try to open myself up again from the Conqueror a little bit, so that we're not in the same position, in case the Holland torpedoes, or, you know, in case I get spotted, so that the Stalingrad would have to switch targets. Although, considering she didn't even fire at me once, chances are Stalingrad actually won't fire on me when I when I get spotted by the Holland. Because I do have a 7 kilometer concealment range compared to the Holland's 6, which obviously means that the Holland will spot me way before I spot her. Oh! A weird thing is happening on the map. Look at where our Petropavlovsk is. I mean, if that Stalingrad keeps reversing a little bit more, you know, that Petra is gonna delete her. But I think the Stalingrad probably knows that. Okay, I haven't run into the Holland. This is weird, because that means the Holland had to have gone towards the B cap, which also means that the Conqueror is in trouble. She is probably already being torpedoed right now. And I tell my teammates that Holland is there, and then I ask my Conqueror whether she is spotted, because if she is, then, well, okay, we already know Holland's over there. And, oh, wow! Holland's actually spotted by the Petra radar. Wow, well done, Petra. That Petra's positioning is impeccable, actually. You know, my team might have not liked the Petra's positioning, but that worked out really well, because now we get to crowd the Holland out to the north. And look what's coming over there. There's a gearing on a collision course with that Holland, which means that the Holland will get spotted again, and perhaps then we will be able to finish her. Meanwhile, I can just keep shooting the Stalingrad, because Stalingrad's completely busy with the Petropavlovsk right now. Obviously, because she's a much bigger and closer threat. Yeah, not anymore, but there's the Holland again. Hello! And that's the gearing that spotted her. Now the worry in a moment like this is that Holland might launch torps in my direction, because I am in line with the Conqueror as well, but that's why we turn away. Okay, I'm gonna drop torpedoes on that Stalingrad in case she rushes forward. Because she might, and all it takes is a few hundred meters forward, and then the Stalingrad could run into them. But as that happens, we will just keep shelling her. She's at 20k HP, so combine this with a little bit of help from the Conqueror, we should be able to finish her off. And that's fire number 1. The Marceau does have amazing BPM, and combine that with the speed, you know, you can engage with cruisers that you probably shouldn't engage with on a destroyer, kind of with impunity, because you can dodge and you do a significant amount of damage that the cruiser kind of stops wanting to get hit in a bit. And goodbye, Stalingrad. Now we can go straight north. Sadly though, both teams have lost 3 ships. I mean, we lost our Shimara here, right? And we lost the Petra in this push. However, we got the enemy Stalingrad and both of their destroyers here, which means that our eastern flank shouldn't be quite as poorly off. However, we did require the help of the gearing, which means that the gearing kind of couldn't fight on the eastern flank. Therefore, our eastern flank should be somewhat weakened. In terms of points though, it's still the 2-point difference, because they got their A cap slightly earlier than our B cap. Had Hiroshima gotten into the B cap earlier, you know, it would be even, or maybe we would have an advantage. And this is why I want to book it into one of those caps. Their gearing is taking the C cap. Sadly, we are not in a position to stop them from taking them. I am advancing on the A cap though. Chances are that there's maybe a Smolensk over there. And with a Conqueror coming through the gap between the two islands, I think we can take care of the Smolensk fairly easily. And then hopefully take the A cap. Okay, so their C cap obviously has the... Actually, do they have a gearing there? Because it's the Bagon in the cap. And Moscow is next to it. Even if there is a gearing, I don't think our team can handle the enemy easily. It'll take a long time for them to be able to contest the C cap. Therefore, the A cap is the name of the game. The enemy is taking slowly into the lead, but not really too much. By the way, you can change the size of the minimap with your numpad plus and minus keys. Okay, so Thunderer has come back to defend. Is the Thunderer too close? I think the Thunderer might be too close. I don't think I can enter the A cap right now. I think I would be spotted by the Thunderer. I'm gonna launch some torpedoes in her though, in case she comes even closer. Because if she does, well, it would be very nice to greet her with a wall of torpedoes. Sadly, our Worcester was taken out, but I think she kind of played her part. She was caught in a rough position. Okay, Smolensk is behind that island. I don't think I should engage a Thunderer from this close. But because the Thunderer is actually sailing away, I can enter the cap zone now. I do think, unfortunately, that we are going to lose our Conqueror here. It's 40k HP and being shelled at by a Smolensk and a Thunderer at the same time. At this kind of close range is kinda rough. But I do also think that the Conqueror can survive for at least a little bit of time. And perhaps she can take a nice chunk of HP out of that Smolensk. But at least we should be able to take this cap zone. It'll be very difficult for the enemy to try to defend this cap here. I mean, they would have to come and spot actually me, which requires them to either turn a Smolensk around or a Thunderer around, and that'll take a while. Okay, very well done by the Yamato. Yamato took out the Moscow. Ooh, maybe I should just start engaging the Smolensk here. She has 5k HP. Yeah, we should be able to deal with her. Would be really nice if we got the cap zone first though. 5 seconds, come on. Okay, 10 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 1 second, 0 seconds. And we got the cap. Okay, let's start shelling the Smolensk now. 1240 HP. By the way, I stopped my ship. And then I'm going to accelerate when somebody targets me. Well, which both of them already did. Come on. 1200 HP. We can hit the Smolensk, please. She doesn't even have an engine. Come on, shells, please. I need to not run aground. This is vital for survival. I'm gonna turn in, because I might need more time. We need to sink that Smolensk. Come on. Oh, come on, 19 HP. One more. Yes, good. Okay, so Smolensk is gone. Now it's a 2 versus 2. They have a gearing. We have a Yamato. They have a Thunderer, and we have a Marceau. This Thunderer is 100% going to turn around and come and defend this cap. The question is, do I try to contend with the Thunderer, or do I go and try to help my Yamato? My ship is fast enough to get over there very quickly. I mean, I'm actually already within gun range of that gearing, so I think I'm gonna go back, because trying to defend against the Thunderer as a destroyer would either require me to YOLO in, or to just get really lucky with torpedoes. And both of them are, they're a risky choice, because the Thunderer is very maneuverable, and she has very powerful HE. Chances are that she will be able to protect the cap. So instead, I'm gonna head over to the, to my Yamato, and then perhaps the C cap, if necessary, because we do still have 5 minutes left. Although, thinking about the fact that that Thunderer just ate 2 torpedoes, and perhaps will eat some more, maybe I should have stayed after all. but the choice has already been made, and now it's definitely safer to go for the gearing. So if you were wondering why do I go this way, it's because if the gearing heads over to the B cap, I can cut her off and then, you know, fight her right here instead of having to later chase her. Oh, and there she is. Okay, I thought she was actually gonna go finish the Yamato, but she probably thought the same thing. It takes a while to finish a battleship. But unfortunately for her, that also meant that she ran exactly into me, and therefore I got a nice Kraken unleashed. Here for a moment I'm thinking I should turn around and go for that Yamato, or Thunderer, sorry, but I decide to change my mind. Because after all, it's a risky idea. It's better to just rush into the sea cap, take it, and just win by points. Because I mean, the Thunderer can't do anything, right? She can't reposition fast enough to change anything. And we have 140 points lead at this point. So once we take the sea cap, or at least even just lock it, we will definitely win this game. Unless Yamato dies and something weird happens, but chances are that's not happening. But yeah, considering how the Thunderer dodged those torpedoes, or rather didn't dodge, I might have been able to finish her off. However, we're not dealing with a Kleber who has these torpedoes that hit like a truck. The Marceau tarps definitely hit for much less damage, and YOLOing in with 16k HP against the Thunderer, with those being the only ships around, I don't know, it's really risky, because if the Thunderer just turns around and starts turning around and starts sailing the other way, it's very, very difficult to rush a ship like that. She has to come towards me, so it would be just risky to do overall. It's much safer to just take the sea cap and just win. I mean, Thunderer can't do anything here, right? And this is ranked after all, we're playing to win, not to have an amazing match, although I guess we already had an amazing match anyway. So here I might as well double down and turn around and just sail in a different direction from our Yamato, in case the Thunderer somehow ends up in a position we don't expect her to, and then, you know, spots both of us. If we're separated, especially by an island, then that literally cannot happen. So now we simply wait. 990 points, 6 seconds to victory, and that is a game. A very nice game, and we got ourselves a nice Kraken unleashed. A ginormous sea monster appeared. 101k damage, but we did fight destroyers quite a bit. And we did cap 3 bases this game. Still, we finished off a Marceau, a Holland, a Smolensk, a Gearing, and a Stalingrad. So yeah, I feel like we deserved a victory like this, especially since we did actually deal a lot of damage to DDs. Wow, 2600 base XP. I'm gonna compliment the Conqueror because she pushed with me very well, and the Yamato because she survived. By the way, I actually played this match after I made the video of the Yamato yesterday, right? Which means that I reached rank 3 1 star, you know, yesterday, on the final day of ranked. Oh wow, look at that. 4 compliments in one game? Damn. That's quite a lot, isn't it? Anyway, these are the upgrades that I used, or commander skills. Priority target, last stand, survivability expert, concealment expert, then advanced firing training, because I really like having this range. I would like to have radio location, to be honest, but I also really like having that range, then basic firing training and adrenaline rush. Then here are the upgrades. Yes, upgrades, not modules. I used the reload upgrade and the concealment upgrade, then obviously propulsion mod, then arming systems modification 1, although actually this should be torpedoes, shouldn't it? I mean, why would I take dispersion on a destroyer? Yeah, no, it definitely should be torpedoes. I don't know why that was the case. But faster torps are definitely better than a little bit of increased or reduced dispersion on a DD. I mean, this goes from, oh no, 119 meters to 110 meters. Doesn't make a difference. Whereas the tarps might. Then the engine boost and main arms modification 1 upgrades. By the way, I did actually manage to reach rank 1. It was mostly actually playing the Marceau. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.